My friend, you did not arrive at this moment by accident. You were led here by the unseen hand of your own consciousness. For what you perceive as coincidence is nothing less than divine orchestration, triggered by the inner movement of your belief. If you are seeing this, it means something remarkable has already happened within you. The outer world is slow to catch up, but the inner shift has already taken place. You have already accepted, consciously or unconsciously, the idea of great wealth. And because you have done so, it must be made flesh. It must now appear. You are not waiting for millions, they are already waiting for you. You do not see them yet with your physical eyes, but that is of no consequence. Everything that ever was, everything that ever shall be, begins in the unseen. The world you walk through today is the residue of old beliefs. But your future, your millions, your success, they are vibrating in the now. Assume the state. Not tomorrow, not when your bank account changes. Right now, feel the satisfaction of wealth. Dwell in the joy of provision. Walk in the confidence of someone who already owns it. When you close your eyes, do not ask, where is it? Instead, declare, it is done. And then you rest. You do not toil for what is already yours. You do not chase what is already coming. You simply align. You give thanks in advance. You speak only from the place of having, never of lack. Because reality is not created by effort. It is created by assumption. And this message is not a suggestion. It is a confirmation, a sign that the universe has already moved on your behalf. Hold fast to the vision. Speak only what you wish to see, and every step you take from this moment on, take it as one who has already received. If you're seeing this, millions are already coming to you. Now claim it and let it be. Consciousness is the only reality. What you see now is a reflection of your inner state. Everything you experience, from the smallest event to the grandest opportunity, arises from what you have accepted as true within yourself. Nothing enters your world uninvited. There is no outer cause, there is no luck, no fate, no accident. Your world is your mirror, faithfully reflecting the contents of your inner beliefs, your dominant thoughts, and your most persistent assumptions. If this message has reached you, it is not by chance. It is not random. Nor is it merely a moment of curiosity. It is evidence, concrete and undeniable, that a shift has already occurred within you. Something inside you has awakened, stretched, and reached for more. Something within you has said, I am ready. You may not have spoken those words aloud, but your consciousness did. And that is what matters. For it is your inner conversation, your silent assumptions, and your unseen acceptance that shape the very fabric of your life. Millions do not come to those who wish in vain. They come to those who have accepted abundance as their natural state. If you feel drawn to the idea of wealth, if your soul leans forward when you hear these words, it's because the seed of abundance is already planted. More than that, it is already beginning to bloom. What you are seeing, what you are hearing now, is the outer echo of an inner truth. You have already accepted the wealth, not someday, not one day, but now. This moment is the proof. The world does not move until you move within. No amount of striving, no external effort, no pushing or pulling of people or circumstances can bring you what you have not first accepted within. You must claim it in the unseen before it becomes visible. And the claiming is not begging. It is not hoping, it is not even asking. It is assuming, knowing, dwelling in the state of already having. To the world this may look like delusion. To those asleep to their power it may appear as fantasy. But to you, the one awakening, it is truth. It is law. Do not be concerned with what the outer world tells you. It is old news, simply a reflection of past thinking. What you think now is what you will see later. What you accept now is what will show up soon. This message, reaching your awareness in this precise moment, is a ripple from the inner acceptance of abundance that already lives within you. You may have buried it beneath worry or fear or doubt, but it is there. And it is waking up. You don't need to chase wealth. You don't need to convince the world of your worth. You only need to return to the truth of your being. Accept it now. You are the source of your reality. You are the cause. You are the creator. And wealth is simply one of many reflections of your expanded awareness. Let the outer signs come as they must, but know that what matters most has already occurred. The door is open, the state is accepted, and what you see now is not just a message. It is a manifestation of your inner alignment. You have already said yes, and now the world must respond. Imagination precedes manifestation. It is the womb of all creation. Every form, every event, every circumstance you call real was once held in the unseen world of thought and imagination. Nothing appears in your outer world without first being born in your inner world. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the technology you use, all of it was once a vision, an idea, an image in someone's mind. So too is your wealth. It does not arrive by accident. It does not fall from the sky. It emerges from the soil of your imagination, watered by your belief, and harvested through your assumption. You don't attract millions by chance. You don't stumble into abundance or happen upon fortune. You become a person who already has it in your inner world first. It is not about striving harder. It is not about how much you do. It is about who you are within. The one who sees millions, feels millions, and accepts millions in their imagination is the one who will experience them in life. The outer world is not the cause, it is the effect. The cause is always your inner state, and the most powerful tool you have for shifting that state is imagination. Imagination is not a child's game. It is divine, it is sacred. It is the creative force that moves mountains, builds empires, and turns invisible ideas into visible results. When you dare to imagine yourself wealthy, not someday, but now, you are planting the very seed that must grow into visible wealth. You are tuning your inner frequency to match the life you desire. And once that inner frequency becomes your dwelling place, the world must conform to it. Too many people wait for proof before they believe. They say, I will feel rich when I see the money. But the truth is, you must feel it first. You must embody it before the world reflects it. You must sit quietly, close your eyes, and see yourself already there. Hear the sound of success, smell the air of luxury, walk through the house, drive the car, sign the check, all in your imagination. And do not come out of that state as if it were a fantasy. Dwell in it. Live from it. Let that imagined life feel more real than what your senses show you now. The one who has millions does not worry about money, so you must not worry. The one who has millions feels gratitude, confidence, and joy. So you must feel these things now. Let your imagination become your sanctuary. Visit it daily. Return to it in moments of doubt. For the world around you is only catching up to the world within you. It is delayed, not denied. Once imagined and accepted, it must appear. You are not creating from the outside in. You are creating from the inside out. So don't ask how or when. Don't seek evidence. Don't look for signs. Become the sign. Become the person who already lives in the state of wealth. Imagination is your bridge. Imagination is your power. Imagination is the first manifestation. And when it is held faithfully, consistently, and confidently, it must become reality. You are not waiting for millions. You are becoming the one who already has them. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is the secret, that is the key that unlocks every door. You do not wait until something appears to feel it. You feel it and then it appears. You do not stand outside the house you desire, hoping to one day be let in. You go within, close your eyes, and walk through its halls. You do not wait until the millions arrive to feel wealthy. You feel wealthy now, as if it were already so, because in truth, it is. All things begin and end in consciousness. The outer world, no matter how solid or real it seems, is simply the slow reflection of your inner assumptions. What you accept as true within yourself, the world must mirror back to you. So if you wish to be wealthy, you must stop waiting for the numbers in your account to change. You must stop placing your sense of wealth on hold. You must go beyond appearances and dwell in the state of already having. Ask yourself now, how would you feel if you knew the millions were already yours? What would shift within you? How would your body relax? How would your voice change? What choices would you make today? That feeling, subtle, calm, steady, that is the goal. That is the energy that manifests. You must learn to dwell in that feeling as naturally as you breathe. You must wear it like a second skin, not as pretense, but as truth. Because once you assume the feeling, the world has no choice but to conform. You see, most people reverse the process. They say, once I get the money, then I'll feel secure, confident, free. But they wait forever. Because life responds not to their words, not to their effort, but to their state of being. And their state is one of lack, of waiting, of not yet. So the world continues to echo back not yet. But when you shift the order, when you claim the state first, feel the end now, then the process begins to unfold. This is not pretending, this is creating. Pretending is hoping with your fingers crossed, assuming is knowing. Pretending seeks validation from the outside, assuming moves from inner conviction. You must become so sure, so settled, so inwardly convinced of your wealth that you no longer look around to check for signs. You know it is done. You feel it in your bones. And because you feel it, you walk differently, speak differently, think differently. And because you have changed, your world must change. This is the law. This is how reality bends. Not through effort or struggle, but through assumption. You are not here to chase wealth, you are here to remember that it is already yours. To step into the version of yourself that already lives in the fulfilled state. To live from the end, because when you live from the end, the journey rearranges itself. The people, the opportunities, the ideas all flow to match your new frequency. So do not wait. Do not postpone your joy, do not delay your abundance. Assume it now, feel it now, be it now, and watch with calm expectation as the outer world bends to mirror the richness you have claimed within. Signs follow, they do not precede. That is the great misunderstanding for most. They wait for signs to tell them they are on the right path. They look for external evidence before they allow themselves to believe. But belief is not born from signs. Signs are born from belief. The outer world does not lead, it follows. The visible does not shape the invisible shapes the visible. And so, if you're seeing this message now, understand, it is not the beginning, it is the confirmation that something is already changed within you. You may have thought you were still waiting. You may have believed that nothing had shifted yet, that your desire was still far off, lingering in some distant future. But the moment your awareness drew you to these words, it became clear. Your inner world has already moved. You've already claimed something. You may not have done it consciously, but at some deeper level, you accepted a new reality. You made a decision. You said, yes, that is mine. And now the signs are showing up, not to guide you, but to reflect that you've already begun. This is the way creation works. First you feel it, then you see it. First you assume it, then it materializes. First you become it within, then the world catches up. But most people try to reverse the process. They look outward and say, when it appears, Then I'll believe. They remain in doubt, waiting for the world to convince them. But the world cannot bring you what you have not accepted. It only mirrors what you've already assumed to be true. This message right now is one of those mirrors. It didn't find you by mistake. It didn't land in front of you by luck or coincidence. It came because your inner self has already called it forth. You've tuned into the frequency of change. You've aligned, even slightly, with the feeling of having, and now the reflections begin. This message is not telling you to begin. That is why you feel something stirring as you read these words. That is why part of you knows this is true, even if your logical mind tries to resist it. Because something deeper is happening, a shift that doesn't need to be forced or explained. It only needs to be trusted. You don't have to figure out how. You only have to remain faithful to the state you've entered. The state of already being, already having, already knowing that what you seek is not ahead of you. It is within you, waiting for you to continue to assume it as natural, as real. Do not chase signs, do not wait for proof. Walk in the assumption that it is already done. Let signs be gentle confirmations, not required conditions. Let them be echoes, not starting points. Because the truth is, if you're seeing this now, the work has already begun. The inner soil has already been tilled, the seed already planted. All that's left is to keep watering it with belief. And the harvest, by law, will come. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. It is not blind hope, nor is it passive wishing. It is the quiet, unwavering conviction that what you have imagined, what you have felt in the stillness of your soul, is more real than what your eyes can presently behold. It is choosing to trust the invisible over the visible. Not because you are naive, but because you understand the truth. The visible world is always the echo, never the source. To live by faith is to refuse to be dominated by appearances. It is to know that what is seen is temporary, fleeting, a delayed printout of past beliefs. But what is unseen, that inner vision, that imagined reality, that assumed feeling, is eternal. It is the birthplace of everything. All things that exist began there. Every structure, every invention, every fortune, every transformation began as an invisible concept, nurtured by the one who dared to remain loyal to it long before others could see it. When you persist in belief, even when the world gives you every reason to doubt, you are exercising true power. You are aligning yourself with the creative force of life. Faith is not passive, it is not idle, it is deeply active even when no movement is visible. It means continuing to assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled despite all contradictions. It means standing firm in your inner knowing, even when everything around you seems to deny it. This kind of faith requires discipline of the imagination. It asks that you continually return to the inner state where your desire is already realized, that you feel the joy, the gratitude, the relief as though it were already so. Because in the unseen realm, it is. The moment you accepted it in your imagination, the process of manifestation began. Your role now is not to create, but to remain loyal to the creation you've already accepted. Most abandon their dreams not because they are impossible, but because they shift their loyalty. They let doubt creep in. They become swayed by the lack of evidence. They stare too long at the empty bank account, the closed door, the absence of movement, and conclude that nothing is happening. But something is always happening. The unseen reality is arranging itself. The world is bending to your assumption, and your continued faith keeps that momentum alive. Every great achiever, every visionary, every individual who has lived a life of abundance and fulfillment did so not because they waited to see, but because they believed before the world caught up. They knew that reality begins within. They knew that imagination, once felt as real, must express itself in form. So you must choose. Will you remain loyal to what is seen, or will you commit to what you've seen in the silence? Will you be governed by appearances, or will you govern them with your belief? Faith is not about waiting for things to change, it is about being the change in consciousness first. It is living, breathing, and moving from the assumption that what you've imagined is already yours. Let the world catch up. You've already arrived. Faith is your passport. Stay loyal to the unseen, and the seen will bow in response. Gratitude is the accelerator of all manifestations. It is not a reaction to what has happened. It is a decision to claim what is happening, even when it has not yet arrived in physical form. To give thanks in advance is the clearest signal to the universe that you already possess the thing you desire. Gratitude is not a polite gesture. It is a creative force. It is the energy that says, "It is done." And in that declaration, you speed the arrival of your desire. You must give thanks now, not later. Waiting to feel grateful only after something appears is the habit of one who doubts. It suggests, "I do not believe it is mine until I can see it." But creation does not respond to delay, it responds to faith. And faith expresses itself through gratitude before the fact. When you feel grateful for what your senses cannot yet detect, you prove that your inner world is more real to you than the outer, and that is when everything changes. Gratitude locks you into the frequency of abundance. It tunes your inner state to the vibration of already having. And since the world is only a mirror of your state, you begin to experience reflections of abundance in your outer life. Small things at first, a compliment, a gift, a new opportunity. But these are not random. They are confirmations, echoes of the state you have assumed. And as you persist, the echoes grow louder, larger, more consistent. You cannot be both grateful and lacking. You cannot thank the universe for a blessing and simultaneously worry it will not come. One cancels the other. Gratitude clears doubt. It silences fear. It neutralizes impatience. Why? Because the one who is grateful is not trying to make something happen. They know it has already happened in unseen form, and they live from that knowing. This is the deeper magic of gratitude. It shifts your posture from waiting to receiving, from hoping to having, from separation to union. It collapses time. When you give thanks in advance, you are pulling the future into the now. You are saying, "I no longer need proof because I know. And because I know, I give thanks." That energy is magnetic. It draws to you the very things you no longer chase. Start small. Begin each day with a whispered thank you, not for what has appeared, but for what is unfolding. Not for what you have, but for what is already yours in consciousness. Speak gratitude for the wealth you feel, even if the numbers are not yet in your account. Thank the universe for the love you carry, even if your partner has not yet arrived. Celebrate the health, the freedom, the peace, before they are tangible, because they are already real within you. And what is real within must express itself without. Let gratitude become your daily practice, your silent song. Let it color your thoughts, your words, your reactions. Gratitude is not passive. It is not soft. It is powerful. It is the language of creation. Use it boldly, use it constantly, and you will find that what once seemed far away is already at your door, drawn to the undeniable light of your thankful heart. When you understand that consciousness creates reality, that assumption precedes manifestation, and that signs are only echoes of your inner shift, you begin to see life through a different lens. You stop chasing, doubting, and waiting, and instead you assume, you believe, you feel, and you give thanks. This is not about hoping something will happen. It's about knowing that it already has. The moment you aligned your inner world, the outer world began to reshape itself to reflect that truth. So if you're seeing this message, it means the shift has already occurred. You've tuned into a new frequency, the frequency of wealth, abundance, and fulfillment. Millions are not on their way. They are already yours in unseen form. Your only task now is to remain faithful to that inner knowing. Persist in the assumption. Give thanks as if it's already done. Walk as if the outcome is certain. Because it is. Creation is finished. And you are the one revealing it. Step by step, through your state of being. So walk boldly, speak confidently, and rest in gratitude. The world you desire is no longer a dream. It is your unseen reality becoming visible. Thank you for receiving this message. Stay loyal to your vision and let the evidence unfold.
Imagine for a moment that you are a gentle stream flowing effortlessly toward the vast ocean. You don't question your direction, nor do you rush to arrive. You simply flow, trusting that every turn and obstacle will ultimately lead you there. This is the wisdom of letting go, of surrendering your desires to the greater, unseen forces at work. To truly live in alignment with your deepest desires and aspirations, one must understand the power of faithful surrender. This is not mere submission or resignation, but a conscious release of attachment to outcomes, a letting go of the obsessive need to control every detail of your life. Faithful surrender calls for a deep trust in the unseen forces at play, in a universe that is not only responsive but actively working in harmony with your highest good. When you embrace this power, you step into a realm where you no longer feel the need to strive relentlessly, but rather you find a quiet certainty that all you seek is already moving toward you. For a moment, that life is like a river. When you attempt to control its current, to manipulate the flow or change its course, you only create resistance. But if you surrender, if you allow the river to guide you, you'll find that the journey becomes smoother, more natural. Faithful surrender, in this sense, is the act of releasing resistance. It's trusting that you don't need to push or struggle to bring about what is meant for you. You simply flow with the river of life, trusting that it will take you exactly where you need to go. This kind of surrender does not imply passivity or inaction. In fact, it requires immense strength and courage. It means that you act from a place of inner knowing rather than desperation, that you make choices without clinging to specific results. Faithful surrender requires you to believe deep in your heart that all things are aligning in your favor, even when external appearances may suggest otherwise. When you let go of fear and anxiety about outcomes, you free yourself from the limitations of doubt, and instead you open yourself to the limitless potential of possibility. The essence of faithful surrender lies in understanding that there is a greater intelligence at work, an energy that is infinitely wiser and more resourceful than any human mind. When you surrender to this intelligence, you recognize that there are countless ways your desires can come to fruition, ways you may never have considered or even imagined. This awareness brings with it a profound sense of peace. You begin to realize that you don't have to know every step, nor do you need to solve every problem. Your task is simply to stay aligned with your vision, to nurture the feelings of already having it, and to trust that the how and the when are being handled by forces beyond your immediate perception. Letting go, therefore, is not a sign of weakness, it is an acknowledgement of a higher strength. It is saying, I am willing to allow things to unfold as they are meant to. It means releasing any attachment to how things should happen, and instead embracing a profound faith that they will happen in the best way possible. This faith becomes the foundation of your life, the quiet assurance that even if things seem unclear or uncertain, they are still working toward your ultimate good. When you practice faithful surrender, you begin to notice shifts in your experience. You find yourself less reactive, less prone to anxiety, and more centered in the present moment. You stop dwelling on past regrets or worrying about future challenges, for you understand that each moment is a stepping stone to your desired reality. Surrender brings with it a sense of freedom, a lightness that allows you to live fully without the constant burden of what if. You feel liberated from the weight of constant striving, for you have come to trust that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. Consider this: when you are no longer consumed by the need to control every detail, you become more receptive to inspiration and intuition. Your mind quiets, and in that silence you are able to hear the gentle whispers of guidance. You find yourself drawn to people, places, and opportunities that align with your desires, and you begin to see life as a beautiful dance between your intentions and the universe's responses. Faithful surrender opens doors that you didn't even know existed. It is the key to allowing miracles to enter, for you have created the space for them to manifest. In this state of surrender, your emotions shift as well. You no longer live in a state of longing or lack. Instead, you begin to embody the feelings of having already achieved your desires. You feel gratitude, joy, and contentment as if your desires are already realized. This emotional state acts as a powerful magnet, drawing into your experience the people, events, and circumstances that resonate with your fulfilled desires. This is the magic of surrender. By feeling complete within yourself, you attract completeness in your outer world. But there will be times when doubt creeps in, when it feels difficult to trust in something you cannot see. In these moments, remind yourself that faithful surrender does not mean ignoring challenges or denying reality. Rather, it means viewing them from a higher perspective. It means understanding that every setback, every delay, every apparent obstacle is part of a larger plan, one that is ultimately leading you toward what you truly seek. Trusting this process is not always easy, but it is essential. The more you cultivate this trust, the stronger it becomes, until it forms the bedrock of your life. Faithful surrender, then, is a daily, even moment-by-moment choice to let go of control and trust the unfolding of your life. With each step, as you release fear, doubt, and the need for control, you step into a realm of grace. You become like that river, flowing effortlessly toward your destiny, knowing that each twist and turn is part of the perfect design. Surrender does not diminish you, it elevates you, placing you in a state of openness, where you can receive all that the universe has prepared for you. Faithful surrender is a journey of coming home to yourself. It is about realizing that you are already whole, that you have within you the power to create the life you desire. But to fully unlock that power, you must be willing to release your grip, to let go of how you think things should be, and to trust in the wisdom that guides all things. This is the ultimate act of faith, that, when practiced, becomes the most powerful force in your life. Imagination is the gateway to the reality you wish to experience. It is the silent architect of your life, shaping everything you encounter through the vivid images and emotions that you hold in your mind. Imagination is often seen as an idle activity, a flight of fancy or mere daydreaming, but it is far more powerful than most realize. When harnessed consciously, imagination becomes a profound creative force. It allows you to see beyond the current limitations of your physical world and opens you to the endless possibilities of what could be. In truth, imagination is your most potent tool for transformation, for it enables you to conceive, feel, and ultimately bring to life the circumstances you desire. Think of imagination as the bridge between your desires and their manifestation. When you imagine, you are not merely picturing a scene in your mind, you are shaping an energy blueprint that begins to attract the people, events, and opportunities that align with that vision. Every invention, every work of art, every extraordinary achievement began as a seed in someone's imagination. Those who dared to imagine boldly and act with faith turned those images into reality. This ability is not limited to a select few, it resides within everyone, waiting to be awakened and applied with intention. To understand the true power of imagination, it's essential to realize that your inner world of thoughts and images is constantly influencing your outer world of experiences. What you focus on in your mind, whether consciously or unconsciously, is projected onto the canvas of your life. When you dwell on thoughts of lack, fear, or limitation, these negative images create a frequency that attracts more of the same. But when you shift your imagination to dwell on abundance, love, and success, you set in motion a new energy that reshapes your reality. The key lies in being mindful of where you direct this creative power and choosing to imagine with purpose. To use imagination effectively, it's essential to immerse yourself fully in the experience you desire. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and see your life as if your desires have already come true. Feel the emotions you would feel if you were living your ideal reality right now. This is not a passive process, it requires an active engagement of the senses. Picture every detail with vivid clarity, the sights, sounds, smells, and sensations. Allow yourself to experience it as if it were happening in this moment. The mind does not distinguish between an actual experience and a vividly imagined one. Both create the same emotional response, the same impact on your subconscious. When you engage in this imaginative process, you are impressing your desires upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious in turn takes these impressions and works tirelessly to manifest them in your physical experience. Just as a seed grows into a plant, given the right conditions, the images you hold in your mind grow into the circumstances of your life. The more frequently you focus on a particular image with positive feeling, the more deeply it is ingrained in your subconscious, and the faster it will come into being. Yet, imagination must be used with faith and belief, for mere wishful thinking is not enough to create change. You must believe in the reality of what you are imagining, even if no physical evidence yet exists. This requires a level of conviction and trust that many find challenging, especially when their current reality seems to contradict their desires. But this is where the power of imagination shines brightest. By believing in your vision and allowing it to occupy your mind consistently, you override the limiting patterns that have kept you in the same place. 2. That the reality you wish for already exists within a realm of possibility. In the vastness of the universe, there are infinite versions of your life, each reflecting different choices, beliefs, and imaginings. The version of you living in abundance, fulfillment, and joy is as real as the one experiencing struggle or limitation. Your imagination serves as the tuning fork that brings you into harmony with the reality you desire. When you imagine with feeling, you align yourself with the energy of that desired experience, and by doing so, you draw it into your present life. It's important to remember that imagination is not just a tool for grand desires or life-changing transformations. It can also be used in the smaller details of everyday life. For example, if you are facing a challenging situation, you can imagine yourself handling it with confidence, calm, and grace. By visualizing a positive outcome, you not only shift your perception of the situation but also set in motion the energies needed to bring about that outcome. Over time, as you make imagination a consistent practice, you will notice a shift in how you respond to life. You become less reactive to outer conditions because you understand that you can shape those conditions from within. Persistence is also essential when using imagination as your creative power. Change does not always happen instantly. It requires patience and repetition. The more you return to your desired images with feeling and conviction, the stronger they become in your subconscious. Doubt and fear may arise, especially if your current reality seems at odds with what you're imagining, but this is natural. Simply observe these doubts without giving them energy and return your focus to your vision. Each time you do this, you strengthen your creative power and reinforce your alignment with your desires. Imagination is a gift, one that allows you to transcend the limitations of your current circumstances. It empowers you to see beyond what is and envision what can be. By embracing this gift, by using it consciously and with faith, you open yourself to a life of limitless potential. You are not at the mercy of fate or circumstances. You are a creator, endowed with the power to shape your destiny. Trust in this power, believe in your vision, and let your imagination guide you toward the life you wish to experience. Through imagination, you realize that the future is not something that happens to you. It is something you create, moment by moment, with the images and emotions you choose to hold in your mind. The state of allowing is a profound and often underestimated part of the process of manifesting desires. To allow is to enter a space of receptive openness, to cultivate an inner stillness where resistance ceases and trust begins. When you allow, you align yourself with the natural flow of the universe, inviting your desires to come into your life without force or struggle. This state is not one of passivity, rather, it is an active, conscious choice to let go of doubt and fear, to believe in the unfolding of life, and to welcome the manifestations of your intentions. Allowing means releasing the need to control outcomes. When you release control, you create a space of non-resistance where your desires can come to fruition in the best possible way. Often people place limitations on their desires by deciding exactly how and when they must manifest. This creates a tension, a rigidity that blocks the flow of possibility. But by allowing, you shift your focus from how and when to simply what you choose to remain clear on your desires, holding them with unwavering certainty, but you relinquish the need to dictate the details. In doing so, you leave room for the universe to bring about outcomes that may exceed your expectations. In the state of allowing, you trust the process, understanding that there is a divine timing at play, far wiser and more intricate than you can perceive. Just as a seed needs time to grow, your desires need time to take shape in the physical realm. Allowing involves trusting that each step is purposeful, that even apparent setbacks are guiding you closer to your desire. It is about maintaining your vision without impatience, knowing that the universe is orchestrating the perfect sequence of events. This trust creates a calm confidence, a steady assurance that what you seek is already on its way to you, unfolding in the right time and manner. Allowing also involves releasing attachment to outcomes. Attachment often stems from a sense of lack or fear that you may not receive what you desire. When you become overly attached, you place yourself in a state of neediness, which creates resistance. This resistance acts like a barrier, repelling the very thing you wish to attract. But when you allow, you shift into a state of sufficiency, recognizing that you are already whole, already capable of experiencing joy and fulfillment. This mindset brings a sense of freedom, because you know that your happiness does not depend on a single outcome. You are open to the infinite possibilities of how your desires might manifest. Then is to embody the feeling of already having what you desire. You choose to live in the emotional state that you believe your desires will bring, even before they appear in your physical reality. This practice is not about pretending or denying your current circumstances, but about aligning with the vibration of your desires. When you embody the emotions of love, joy, abundance, or peace, you raise your frequency to match the experiences you wish to attract. This state of inner alignment naturally draws into your life people, opportunities, and events that resonate with those feelings. Allowing also requires patience, which can be one of the most challenging aspects. Patience is not about waiting passively or with frustration. It is an active acceptance of the present moment while holding a positive expectation for the future. In the state of allowing, you understand that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it doesn't appear that way from your limited perspective. This patience enables you to remain calm and focused without succumbing to anxiety or doubt. It frees you from the pressure of rushing or pushing, as you know that everything you desire will come to you at the right time. An essential part of allowing is cultivating gratitude. Gratitude shifts your attention away from what you lack and centers it on what you already have. When you express appreciation for your current blessings, you signal to the universe that you are open to receiving more. Gratitude opens your heart, creating a sense of abundance that invites further abundance. By being thankful for what is, you pave the way for what can be, as gratitude raises your vibration and places you in harmony with the good you seek to attract. Allowing is also an invitation to surrender judgment both of yourself and of the process. Often people judge their worthiness based on past experiences, mistakes, or perceived flaws, which creates a sense of unworthiness that can block the manifestation of their desires. In the state of allowing, you release the need to judge yourself harshly. You recognize that you are deserving of all good things simply by virtue of being. This self-acceptance is essential because it removes the barriers of self-doubt, replacing them with a gentle self-assurance. You realize that you are enough, just as you are, and that you are worthy of every blessing you desire. In the state of allowing, you become a co-creator with the universe. You recognize that you are not alone in the process of bringing your desires to life. You are in partnership with a force that is far greater than any obstacle. This awareness brings a sense of peace. as you realize that you do not have to carry the entire burden of creation on your own shoulders. You are supported, guided, and loved, and when you allow, you give space for this support to reach you. The state of allowing is a profound act of self-love and trust. It is the decision to let go of fear and replace it with faith. It is a willingness to embrace uncertainty, knowing that every twist and turn is leading you toward your highest good. In this state, you are no longer bound by the limitations of your current circumstances, for you understand that you are always in a state of becoming, always expanding into greater versions of yourself. When you allow, you give permission for the universe to work its magic. You become a vessel for grace, a recipient of miracles. This state of allowing, this openness to receive, transforms your life from one of struggle to one of ease. You flow with life rather than against it, and in doing so you experience the joy, peace, and fulfillment that come from knowing that all you seek is already yours, simply waiting to be realized. Aligning with divine timing means surrendering to the flow of life, allowing events to unfold in their natural rhythm without forcing outcomes or clinging to rigid expectations. Divine timing isn't about passive waiting or inactivity. It is an invitation to live with intentional patience, a recognition that there is a higher intelligence orchestrating the unfolding of your life. In a world that often values immediacy and control, learning to align with divine timing is a powerful act of trust. It requires faith that everything you desire is on its way to you, and it will arrive not a moment too soon or too late, but precisely when it's meant to. To align with divine timing, the first step is cultivating an inner stillness, a state of being where you can listen to the subtle guidance of your intuition. When we are constantly rushing, overthinking, or clinging to a specific outcome, we drown out the gentle nudges of our inner guidance, making it harder to discern the signs and synchronicities that indicate when to act and when to wait. And by calming the mind and centering ourselves, we become more attuned to the cues from the universe that signal the right moment to move forward. Divine timing often presents itself as a natural sense of readiness, where everything falls into place without effort and the path forward becomes clear. Aligning with divine timing also means trusting that any delays, setbacks, or challenges you encounter are part of the process, not hindrances. These moments of apparent delay serve a purpose, whether it's to allow more preparation, foster growth, or bring new insights that are essential for the fulfillment of your desire. When things don't happen according to your preferred timeline, it's easy to become frustrated or disheartened. Yet, divine timing asks you to trust that every pause has a reason. Often it is during these times of waiting that we gain the most valuable lessons, the insights that prepare us to receive our desires fully and with gratitude. One of the most challenging aspects of aligning with divine timing is releasing the need for control. When you try to dictate every step, you close yourself off to possibilities that may surpass what you initially envisioned. Divine timing doesn't adhere to the human concept of time. It operates in an eternal now, where events unfold in the most harmonious way. When you let go of control, you open the door for outcomes that may be beyond your wildest dreams, outcomes that bring a sense of fulfillment and peace, because they arrived when you were truly ready to receive them. It is essential to remember that divine timing is not passive or stagnant. It requires your active participation in the form of inspired action. Inspired action is different from action driven by impatience or fear. When you act out of alignment, you often feel rushed, stressed, or doubtful. In contrast, inspired action feels natural and effortless, arising from a place of joy and enthusiasm. These are the actions that come from a deep sense of alignment with your purpose, and they contribute to the unfolding of your desires in harmony with divine timing. Trust that there will be moments when you feel compelled to act, and these moments will guide you closer to your goals without disrupting the natural flow. To align with divine timing also means recognizing the importance of patience. In today's fast-paced world, patience is often seen as a virtue in short supply, yet it is a powerful force when you are working with universal energies. Patience is not mere waiting. It is an active and intentional state of receptivity. It is choosing to remain calm and centered, even when you cannot see immediate results. Divine timing teaches you to find peace in the present moment, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. By practicing patience, you demonstrate faith in the timing of the universe and allow it to work in your favor. Another vital aspect of divine timing is learning to embrace uncertainty. The path toward your desires is not always linear or predictable. There may be twists, turns, and detours that lead you to unexpected places, and each of these experiences has value. By embracing uncertainty, you release the need for everything to be neatly defined or logically mapped out. You allow life to surprise you, to reveal new paths, new relationships, and new opportunities that align with the timing of your higher good. Embracing uncertainty is a powerful way to live in alignment with divine timing because it shows that you trust in the process, even if you cannot see the full picture. Aligning with divine timing also involves practicing gratitude for the present. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a vibration of abundance and openness. When you are grateful for the journey, for each step and each lesson, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude grounds you in the here and now, reminding you that each moment is a stepping stone toward the realization of your desires. By appreciating where you are today, you prepare yourself to receive the blessings that are on their way in the perfect time. Aligning with divine timing means honoring your inner self-worth. Often we hold ourselves back from fully receiving our desires because deep down we question if we are worthy. Divine timing is not only about when things happen, but also about who you become in the process. The journey of waiting, of preparing, and of trusting builds your character and cultivates your self-worth. When you believe that you are worthy of all the good that life has to offer, you align yourself with the frequency of your desires, allowing them to flow to you effortlessly. Living in harmony with divine timing is a state of profound faith and self-trust. It is understanding that the universe is always working on your behalf, even when you cannot see it. It is choosing to align yourself with the rhythm of life, where you move forward when called and wait patiently when required. Divine timing is not a race, it is a dance, a graceful unfolding of events that bring you closer to your highest self. By surrendering to this process, by embracing patience, and by acting with intention, you unlock the full potential of what life has to offer. Each step of aligning with divine timing brings you closer to the life you envision, but it also brings peace, joy, and fulfillment in the present. When you trust the timing of the universe, you realize that everything you desire is already on its way, unfolding perfectly, with each moment building upon the last. You are not just waiting, you are co-creating, participating in a beautiful dance with life that brings your desires into reality at the perfect time. The practice of inner stillness is an invitation to step into a place of deep peace within yourself, a place that transcends the noise and distractions of daily life. It is a conscious choice to calm the mind and connect with the silence that exists beneath the surface of thought and emotion. In a world that is often filled with activity and stimulation, inner stillness provides a sanctuary, a state of being that offers clarity, insight, and profound calm. It is a powerful practice that can transform your life, helping you navigate challenges with grace and align more fully with your authentic self. It is not about emptying the mind or achieving a state of complete thoughtlessness. Rather, it is about creating space within yourself where you can observe your thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them. In this space, you gain perspective and awareness, seeing your thoughts as they are transient, passing through like clouds in the sky. This detachment allows you to recognize that you are not your thoughts or emotions, you are the one who observes them. In this recognition, you find freedom, a sense of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances or the fluctuations of the mind. Practicing inner stillness often begins with the breath. The breath is a natural bridge between the mind and body, a rhythm that is always present and can anchor you to the present moment. By focusing on your breath, you gently redirect your attention away from mental chatter, calming the nervous system and bringing yourself into a state of relaxation. Each inhale and exhale draws you deeper into the now, grounding you in a place of presence. Over time, This simple act of conscious breathing cultivates a state of inner stillness, where the mind slows down and you connect with a deeper awareness within yourself. You enter a state of pure presence, where you are fully engaged with the moment as it is, without judgment or resistance. This presence is transformative because it allows you to experience life more directly, without the filters of past conditioning or future anxieties. When you are present, you see things more clearly, hear more deeply, and respond to situations with greater calm and wisdom. You are no longer reacting automatically. Instead, you are consciously choosing how to engage with each moment. This shift from reaction to response is one of the profound gifts of inner stillness, as it empowers you to move through life with greater clarity and intentionality. Inner stillness also opens the door to greater self-awareness. When you are still, you can observe the patterns of your mind, noticing recurring thoughts, beliefs, and emotional responses. This self-observation sheds light on parts of yourself that may have been hidden or unconscious, allowing you to bring awareness to habits and patterns that no longer serve you. In this space of stillness, you can see your conditioning, your fears, and your desires with compassion and detachment. This self-awareness is essential for personal growth, as it enables you to make choices that are in alignment with your true self, rather than being driven by unconscious patterns. A profound aspect of inner stillness is its ability to foster a sense of connection with something greater than yourself. In the silence of stillness, you may feel a deep sense of oneness, a realization that you are part of a vast and interconnected whole. This sense of unity brings a peace that is beyond words, a knowing that you are not isolated but intricately connected to all of life. Many people describe this experience as touching the divine or feeling the presence of the universe within them. This connection nourishes the soul, providing a sense of purpose and belonging that is deeply fulfilling. It is also a powerful tool for dealing with stress and adversity. When faced with challenging situations, the mind often races with worry, fear, or doubt. By cultivating inner stillness, you develop a refuge within yourself, a place you can return to when life feels overwhelming. In this inner sanctuary, you can find strength and resilience, knowing that you are grounded in a peace that cannot be shaken by external events. This calmness allows you to approach difficulties with a clear mind and an open heart, responding to challenges from a place of wisdom and compassion rather than from fear or reactivity. The practice of inner stillness does not require complex techniques or specific rituals. It simply requires a commitment to being present. You can practice stillness at any moment, whether you are sitting in meditation, walking in nature, or even engaging in everyday activities. The key is to bring awareness to whatever you are doing, to engage with it fully, and to let go of distractions. Over time, as you practice inner stillness, it becomes a natural part of your life, a state of being that you can access effortlessly. This practice enriches every aspect of life, bringing a sense of depth, joy, and fulfillment to even the simplest moments. It is not a destination, it is an ongoing journey. There will be times when the mind is restless, when thoughts and emotions pull you in various directions. This is natural, and it is part of the process. The practice is to return to stillness again and again, to gently guide yourself back to that place of peace within. Each time you return, you strengthen your connection to your inner self, deepening your awareness and cultivating a resilience that is rooted in inner calm. This commitment to stillness, even in the face of distraction or difficulty, is a powerful act of self-love and self-respect. As you deepen in the practice of inner stillness, you may find that your relationship with the world transforms. You become less affected by external pressures, less swayed by the opinions and expectations of others. Instead, you are guided by an inner compass, a sense of direction that comes from your own inner wisdom. This inner alignment allows you to live with authenticity, integrity, and grace, staying true to yourself in all situations. The peace you cultivate within radiates outward, influencing not only your own life but also the lives of those around you. The inner stillness is a return to your true nature. Beneath the noise of the mind and the fluctuations of emotion lies a place of pure awareness, a space that is eternally calm and unchanging. This is the essence of who you are, the presence that witnesses all experience without becoming entangled in it. The practice of inner stillness is a journey back to this essence, a rediscovery of the peace and wholeness that have always been within you. In this space you find a freedom that cannot be taken away, a joy that is not dependent on circumstances, and a love that is boundless and unconditional. In conclusion, the journey to inner stillness is one of the most profound gifts you can give yourself. It brings clarity, resilience, and a deep sense of peace, enabling you to navigate life with grace and strength. As you cultivate this inner sanctuary, you'll find yourself less affected by the chaos around you, more connected to your true self, and better able to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and compassion. Inner stillness is not just a practice, but a way of being that transforms how you live, love, and experience each moment. Thank you for taking the time to explore this journey of inner peace and self-discovery. May you continue to find strength, clarity, and joy in the stillness within. My friends, it is not a secret to God that you are weary. He hears every whisper of your heart, every unspoken plea, and every silent moment of fatigue. When you feel alone, burdened, and uncertain, you are, in truth, far from alone. There is a higher consciousness, a presence so deeply aware of your trials that it feels them as intimately as you do. You may wonder if your pain is unseen, or if your cries echo unheard, but I tell you, they are not lost. Every beat of your heart is known. There exists a presence, a boundless awareness that knows your heart better than you do. This awareness is not a distant, passive observer, but an intimately connected part of who you are, a consciousness that hears every thought, feels every emotion, and understands every unspoken word. It is the divine intelligence that breathes life into every living being, that has woven itself into the very fabric of your existence. It perceives you in totality, with a depth and purity of understanding that no earthly connection could match. This presence is both personal and universal, both within you and around you, and it knows your struggles even when you have no words to describe them. In your moments of silence and solitude, when you are stripped bare of pretense, this divine awareness is closer than ever. It sees your dreams, your worries, and your fears with perfect clarity, without judgment or impatience. You may try to hide parts of yourself from others, those aspects that you consider flawed or unworthy. But this presence, this knowing force, does not turn away from even the most hidden parts of you. Instead, it envelops you fully, seeing your challenges and your doubts not as failings but as a natural part of the journey. It sees beyond your self-doubts, beyond the limits you believe in, and holds an unwavering vision of your highest potential. Consider this: there is no separation between you and this divine awareness. It feels the tremors of your heart as if they were its own. It does not overlook your cries for help or ignore the longing that stirs within you. So when you are overwhelmed, when weariness sets in so deeply that it feels etched into your very bones, know that this presence is aware. It recognizes that you carry burdens that sometimes feel impossible to bear, and it does not expect you to manage them alone. Your moments of doubt and exhaustion are met with compassion, not judgment. There is a loving gaze upon you, one that understands the weight of your journey. In the quiet spaces, in the moments when you stop striving and simply allow yourself to be, you can feel this awareness more clearly. Sometimes it whispers in the form of intuition, a gentle nudge guiding you toward what is right for you, or it reveals itself in the sudden clarity of thought that seems to come from nowhere. Other times, it may come as an unexpected sense of peace that floods your being, reminding you that everything is, indeed, okay. This awareness is subtle but profound, always waiting for you to turn inward and connect. To be seen in this way is to be known in your truest form, beyond your insecurities, beyond your fears, beyond the roles you play. When you understand that this divine awareness sees you so fully, you can begin to release the need to prove yourself or to hide parts of who you are. There is a freedom in knowing that every part of you is already held with unconditional love and acceptance. It is as if a weight is lifted. You are free to be who you truly are without the need to perform, to earn love, or to struggle for recognition. This awareness does not see your weariness as weakness. In fact, it sees your exhaustion as a part of the unfolding path, a reminder to rest, to allow yourself to lean into this divine understanding that you are never alone. This presence is always there to support you, ready to hold you when you need it. It is a reminder that there is no shame in seeking comfort, no fault in feeling overwhelmed. In these moments of surrender, you tap into a strength beyond your own, a boundless well of energy and love that can renew and refresh you in ways nothing else can. Imagine the transformation that occurs when you realize deep within that you are understood at this level. Suddenly, the need to be seen or heard by others loses its urgency, for you know that you are already profoundly understood. This sense of being known gives rise to a peace that is not dependent on external validation or approval. It is a peace that anchors you even in the midst of life's storms, for it assures you that your worth is beyond question, that your journey is honored, and that your struggles are met with empathy. To rest in this awareness is to find a sanctuary within yourself. It is to know that no matter what the world throws at you, there is a place of unshakable love and understanding that you can return to at any time. Here you are reminded of your divine nature, of the infinite potential that lies within you, waiting to be expressed. You are not simply a being defined by the limitations of this physical world. You are a part of something far greater, something eternal. So, as you allow yourself to feel this divine presence more fully, your life begins to transform. The smallness of worry and doubt gives way to a greater faith in the unfolding of your life. You come to understand that there is nothing random about your experiences, that every challenge and every joy serves a purpose. Through this awareness, you learn to see the beauty in your journey, even in the moments of struggle, for you know that you are guided, loved, and deeply understood at every step. So, take comfort in the knowledge that this divine awareness is always with you, gently guiding you, renewing your strength, and holding you in perfect understanding. You are seen, you are cherished, and you are known. There comes a point on your journey when you may feel utterly exhausted, as though you've reached the end of your ability to keep moving forward. You've done all you can, you've fought, struggled, and strived to shape your life according to your desires. Yet, despite your best efforts, the weight of life's challenges sometimes feels insurmountable. It is in these moments, when you stand at the edge of your own strength, that the true nature of faith reveals itself. Surrender in this context is not about giving up on life or abandoning your dreams. Rather, it is the act of releasing control over every outcome and trusting that a greater wisdom is guiding you, even when you cannot see the path. Surrendering in faith is a profound act of trust. It's an acknowledgement that you are part of something far larger than yourself, something infinitely wise and compassionate. This surrender is an invitation to let go of the tight grip you have on how you think things should be, to stop insisting that life conforms to your will, and to allow instead for a higher intelligence to work through you and around you. Faith, in this sense, is the bridge between what you desire and the willingness to let life unfold in its own way, knowing that what is meant for you will come, often in ways you could never have anticipated. When you surrender in faith, you don't abandon your dreams or your goals. Rather, you release the burden of needing to control every step along the way. You continue to show up each day, to put forth your best effort, but with an open heart and a willingness to allow things to evolve naturally. You shift from a mindset of struggle to one of trust, understanding that the universe operates with a wisdom that often surpasses your immediate understanding. Sometimes the answers you seek require time, growth, and experiences you have yet to encounter. Surrendering in faith means you are patient, knowing that everything has its own divine timing. This act of surrender is not always easy. It often requires you to step beyond the fears and doubts that arise when things don't go as planned. You might question whether you are being ignored, whether your dreams are too big, or whether you are worthy of what you desire. In these moments, surrendering in faith becomes an invitation to see your challenges through a different lens. Instead of viewing delays or obstacles as signs of failure, you begin to understand them as parts of the process, necessary steps that bring you closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and your journey. There is a strength in surrender that may surprise you. Contrary to the idea of giving up, true surrender requires courage and resilience. It asks you to face uncertainty with a sense of peace, to let go of the fear of the unknown, and to open yourself to a broader perspective. When you surrender, you step into the flow of life, no longer resisting its currents but moving with them. You find that life becomes less of a struggle and more of a dance, where you are a partner in a beautiful unfolding. You don't have to know every step, you only need to remain present and responsive to what is happening in each moment. As you surrender in faith, you begin to cultivate a sense of inner peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. You understand that, while life may not always go according to your plans, it is always leading you to where you need to be. Every setback, every moment of waiting, and every unexpected turn becomes an opportunity for growth and a deepening of trust. You come to see that your path is unique, guided by forces beyond your comprehension, and that each experience, whether joyful or challenging, serves a purpose in your spiritual journey. Surrender also brings a profound sense of freedom. No longer bound by the need to control every aspect of your life, you are free to live with a sense of openness and curiosity. You release the weight of expectations, both from yourself and from others, and embrace the unfolding of each day as it comes. This freedom allows you to experience life more fully, to find joy in the present moment, and to appreciate the beauty of the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. As you continue to surrender, you become more attuned to the gentle guidance of your intuition, that quiet inner voice that knows the way. With each act of surrender, your faith deepens and your connection to the divine becomes more tangible. You start to see signs and synchronicities that confirm you are on the right path, small reminders that you are being supported and that you are never alone. Even in moments of solitude or uncertainty, you feel the quiet presence of something greater, something that holds you in love and light. To surrender in faith is to trust in the unseen, to believe that there is a purpose to every experience, and to know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. It is an act of profound humility and courage, a recognition that you are part of a vast, interconnected whole, and that your journey is intimately woven into the fabric of the universe. As you let go of the need to control, you discover a peace that transcends understanding, a peace rooted in the knowledge that life is unfolding perfectly, guided by a wisdom that sees beyond your limited perspective. You find rest not in the certainty of outcomes, but in the certainty of divine presence, knowing that come what may, you are held in the gentle embrace of grace. The heart speaks a language all its own, one that transcends words, yet communicates with more power and clarity than any spoken language could. It is the language of feeling, of intuition, of quiet whispers that guide you, often gently and softly, toward your deepest truth. This language exists beyond logic and beyond rational understanding. It is an inner voice that speaks directly to your soul. When the heart speaks, it bypasses the mind's doubts and fears, moving straight into the core of who you are, asking you to listen, to trust, and to follow a path that may not always be clear, but is undoubtedly real and alive. Of the heart is a language of truth. In a world filled with noise and endless distractions, where we are often encouraged to suppress our feelings in favor of practicality, this language remains pure and unfiltered. It is not swayed by external expectations or societal pressures. Instead, it emerges from the depths of your own being, free from judgment or self-deception. It is a part of you that knows what you truly want, what you truly fear, and what you most deeply desire. It speaks to you in moments of silence, in times when you are alone with your thoughts, and in the quiet spaces between words. Listening to this language requires a willingness to be still, to set aside the endless chatter of the mind, and to create space for the heart to be heard. Unlike the mind, which often jumps from one thought to another, the heart communicates in a steady, gentle way. It may start with a subtle feeling, a sense of peace or discomfort, a tugging sensation that you cannot ignore. This is how the heart makes its voice known, not with loud proclamations, but with a quiet insistence that gently guides you back to yourself. The heart does not argue or debate, it simply points you toward what is real and meaningful to you. The heart often speaks through emotions and sensations rather than words. It communicates through a feeling of warmth, a surge of excitement, or a deep sense of calm when you are in alignment with your true self. It also speaks through feelings of unease, restlessness, or sadness when you are straying from your path. This is why it's so important to pay attention to your emotions, not as inconveniences or distractions, but as messengers from your heart. Every emotion carries information about your inner world, guiding you toward what resonates with your spirit and away from what does not. The heart is not concerned with appearances or with how things should be. It only knows what is. This language of the heart will never mislead you, even if it takes you down paths that seem uncertain or unfamiliar. The heart's language speaks to the things that matter most to you, even if they don't align with what others expect. It is not afraid to lead you into the unknown, trusting that you will find your way through. The heart's language encourages you to live authentically, to honor your true feelings, and to embrace the unique path that belongs only to you. When you begin to listen to this inner language, life takes on a new depth. You find yourself more attuned to the things that bring you joy, that light up your spirit, and that make you feel truly alive. The heart's guidance may not always make sense to the mind. It may ask you to take risks or to trust in things you cannot see. But this is where the beauty of the heart's language lies. It teaches you to live from a place of faith and connection, to follow your inner knowing, even when the path is unclear. In relationships, the heart's language allows you to connect with others in a way that transcends surface interactions. When you communicate from the heart, you share more than words. You share a part of yourself. You become vulnerable, open, and real. The heart encourages you to express your true feelings, to let down your guard, and to connect on a soul level. When two people communicate in the language of the heart, there is an unspoken understanding, a sense of being truly seen and accepted. This is the foundation of genuine connection and love. So the heart also brings healing. It guides you to acknowledge your pain and to embrace your experiences without judgment. The heart doesn't shy away from the difficult emotions. It meets them with compassion and acceptance. In moments of grief, loneliness, or loss, the heart's language is there to remind you that it is okay to feel, to hurt, and to heal in your own time. The heart teaches you that true healing comes not from suppressing your emotions, but from allowing them to flow through you, from trusting that every feeling has its place and its purpose. To understand the language of the heart is to understand yourself on a deeper level. It is to cultivate an inner relationship that is based on honesty and compassion. The heart invites you to embrace all aspects of yourself, to see beyond the judgments of the mind, and to recognize the beauty of your true nature. When you live in alignment with the heart, you live a life that is rich in meaning and purpose. You become more resilient, more compassionate, and more open to the experiences that life brings. This language is always with you, patiently waiting for you to listen. It does not demand attention. It does not seek to overpower the mind. It simply exists, a gentle reminder of who you are beneath the layers of thoughts and opinions. When you take the time to listen, when you allow yourself to be guided by the heart, you step into a life of authenticity and truth. In this space, you find a sense of peace that cannot be shaken, a love that flows from within, and a connection to something greater than yourself. Life has a way of bringing us to moments of darkness, to places where we feel empty, tired, and uncertain. These times can feel endless, and we may believe that the light has gone out. Yet within the rhythm of life itself lies a promise, an unbreakable, unwavering assurance that renewal is always possible. Just as nature renews itself with every dawn, every spring, and every cycle of growth, so too does the human spirit hold within it the promise of renewal, a capacity to emerge from even the most difficult seasons with new strength and clarity. This promise is not an external force, but an inherent part of who we are. Renewal begins within, often in the quiet moments when we feel most vulnerable. We tend to think of strength as resilience or power, as something active and outward. But renewal teaches us that strength is often found in the willingness to let go, to release what no longer serves us, and to open ourselves to new possibilities. In the moments when we surrender our need for control, we create space for something new to take root. Renewal requires an openness, a willingness to trust in life cycles, to accept that some chapters must close for new ones to begin. Renewal is effortless. Trees shed their leaves to prepare for winter, knowing that spring will bring new growth. Animals rest and hibernate, following the natural rhythm of their needs. Renewal is a process of trust, of understanding that even in moments of stillness or retreat, life is at work, unseen but powerful. Similarly, in our own lives, there are times when stepping back, resting and letting go are exactly what we need for renewal to occur. Renewal isn't always an immediate change, it is often a gradual shift, like the slow budding of a flower, taking place beneath the surface until it is ready to blossom. During times of difficulty, renewal asks us to be gentle with ourselves, to recognize that healing and growth take time. There is a beauty in patience, in allowing ourselves to move through life's cycles without rushing or forcing progress. Renewal is a promise that unfolds in its own time. The desire to rush through pain or skip over uncomfortable feelings may arise, but true renewal only comes when we honor each part of our journey. It is through acknowledging and feeling our experiences fully that we make way for genuine transformation. As we allow ourselves to go through this process, we begin to see that renewal is not about erasing the past or forgetting our challenges. Instead, it is about integrating those experiences, learning from them, and allowing them to shape us in ways that bring us closer to our true selves. Renewal is an opportunity to redefine our perspectives, to let go of the beliefs that hold us back, and to emerge with a clearer vision of what truly matters. It is a shedding of old layers, an embracing of the new, of the parts of ourselves that are ready to come forth and grow. The promise of renewal invites us to trust that we are capable of growth, that no matter how many times we stumble, we can always rise again. Each setback, each hardship becomes a stepping stone toward greater resilience and understanding. Through renewal, we come to see that our struggles are not punishments or failures, they are part of our evolution. Every time we feel like we are breaking down, there is an opportunity to break open instead, to expand, to deepen our empathy, our strength, and our compassion. Renewal is an affirmation that life's challenges do not define us, but refine us. Renewal also calls us to reconnect with the present moment, to ground ourselves in the here and now. Often the weight of the past or the worry about the future keeps us from feeling the potential for renewal in the present. By embracing the present moment, we make room for new perspectives and fresh possibilities to arise. Renewal is an invitation to see each day, each experience with fresh eyes, to understand that every moment is an opportunity to begin again. When we anchor ourselves in the present, we open to life's inherent creativity and the possibility of transformation. Renewal is a celebration of life's resilience. It is a testament to the human spirit's ability to adapt, to grow, and to transcend. Just as the seasons cycle and the sun rises each morning, our lives are filled with countless opportunities for renewal. This promise is constant, woven into the fabric of existence itself. We may not always see it, especially in moments of difficulty, but it is there, waiting for us to reach out and embrace it. Renewal is a reminder that life is not a linear path, but a series of cycles, each one bringing us closer to who we are meant to be. To embrace the promise of renewal is to have faith in our own capacity for transformation. It is to believe that within us lies a wellspring of possibility, a depth of strength that carries us through every season of life. Renewal is an invitation to live fully, to allow ourselves to feel the richness of each experience, to learn from it, and to continue growing. Even in times of darkness, the promise of renewal whispers that there is light ahead, that every ending holds the seed of a new beginning. In honoring this promise, we allow ourselves to move with grace through life's changes, to trust in our own resilience, and to find beauty in every stage of our journey. Renewal is not simply a return to what was, it is the creation of something new, something born from the lessons of the past and the hope for the future. It is a promise that life continually offers to us, a reminder that we are never stagnant, and that, like all of nature, we have the power to begin anew, no matter where we are. There is a rhythm to life, a divine order that moves through every experience, every relationship, and every path we walk. Often, this rhythm is invisible, concealed beneath the surface of our immediate perceptions. We may think that we are in control, pushing and planning to achieve our desires, only to find that our timing doesn't always align with life's greater unfolding. Trusting in divine timing requires us to set aside our need to control outcomes and instead align ourselves with a higher wisdom that sees the bigger picture, one that we may not yet understand, but that knows exactly when, where, and how things are meant to unfold. Divine timing is a reminder that life doesn't operate according to the deadlines or expectations we set for ourselves. Sometimes, no matter how much effort we put forth or how deeply we yearn for something, our desires may not come to fruition immediately. Yet, this does not mean that we are forgotten or that our dreams are lost. Divine timing asks us to trust that there is a purpose to every delay, every pause, and every unexpected turn on our path. It encourages us to have faith that everything is happening exactly as it should, even if we cannot see the full picture. Trusting in divine timing is an invitation to live with patience and openness. We are often conditioned to believe that faster is better, that achieving our goals quickly is a sign of success. But divine timing reveals that true fulfillment does not always arrive in a rush. It arrives when we are truly ready to receive it. Sometimes this readiness requires growth, healing, and preparation. Perhaps there are lessons we need to learn or experiences we must go through in order to fully appreciate and embrace what we are asking for. Divine timing is a gentle teacher, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and preparing us for the blessings that lie ahead. In moments of frustration, it can be challenging to trust that there is a reason for waiting. Our human minds often become restless, questioning why things aren't happening as planned or why certain obstacles seem to block our path. Yet it is in these very moments that we are being asked to surrender our limited perspective and to trust in the unseen forces at work. Divine timing is not about withholding what we desire, it's about aligning us with what is truly meant for us. When we trust in this timing, we move from a state of resistance to one of acceptance, allowing ourselves to flow with life rather than fighting against it. Divine timing also invites us to develop a relationship with faith. Faith is not just a belief in a higher power, it is an inner knowing that life supports us, even in times of uncertainty. It is a trust that there is a wisdom guiding our journey, orchestrating experiences, and bringing people and opportunities into our lives at precisely the right moments. This faith does not come from knowing all the answers, but from embracing the mystery of life. Trusting in divine timing means finding peace in the unknown, surrendering our need for certainty, and accepting that some things are beyond our understanding. It is only in hindsight that we realize why things unfolded the way they did. We may look back and see that what felt like a delay was actually a period of preparation, that what seemed like a setback was a stepping stone to something greater. Divine timing works in this way, weaving together events and experiences in ways we cannot predict or control. When we trust in this timing, we become more attuned to life's subtle signs and synchronicities. We begin to see that every encounter, every delay, and every redirection serves a purpose, guiding us toward our highest good. Living in alignment with divine timing allows us to cultivate a sense of peace and gratitude. We become less attached to specific outcomes and more open to the possibilities that life presents. Instead of focusing solely on the destination, we learn to appreciate each moment, trusting that it is part of a larger journey. Divine timing teaches us that there is beauty in the process, that every phase of our journey has value, and that even in times of waiting, life is preparing us for what is to come. This trust transforms our relationship with time. We no longer see it as an enemy, but as a gentle guide. In trusting divine timing, we allow ourselves to live more authentically, to listen to our inner guidance, and to follow our heart without rushing or forcing. We understand that what is meant for us will not pass us by, and that there is no need to compare our journey to anyone else's. Each person's path unfolds uniquely, and divine timing reminds us that there is no one right timeline. We release the pressure to meet external standards and focus instead on aligning with our inner truth, knowing that when the time is right, everything will fall into place. Divine timing is ultimately a lesson in trust, surrender, and alignment. It asks us to release our attachment to immediate outcomes and to open our hearts to a higher wisdom that knows what is best for us. By embracing divine timing, we cultivate patience, resilience, and a deeper sense of peace. We become more receptive to the blessings that life has in store, understanding that they will come when we are ready to receive them. In the meantime, we live fully in the present, finding joy in the journey and trusting that each step is leading us exactly where we are meant to be. Inner peace is a rare and precious gift, a sanctuary within that remains untouched by the noise and chaos of the external world. It is a state of being that transcends circumstances, providing a stable foundation of calm and clarity even in the midst of turmoil. This peace is not something that can be given or taken away by others. It is an inner resource that lies within each of us, waiting to be uncovered and cultivated. To experience this gift is to discover a source of strength and serenity that is always available, regardless of life's challenges. The journey to inner peace begins with self-acceptance. So much of our inner unrest stems from self-judgment, from the internal conflicts between who we are and who we think we should be. When we are constantly striving to be someone else or to meet unrealistic expectations, we create stress and tension within ourselves. Inner peace arises when we release these judgments, allowing ourselves to be exactly as we are. It's a process of letting go, of embracing our imperfections and recognizing that we are enough as we are. When we are at peace with ourselves, we can experience a profound sense of relief and freedom, free from the need to prove or justify our worth. This peace is also cultivated through the practice of mindfulness. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to become overwhelmed by worries about the future or regrets from the past. Our minds race from one thought to the next, creating a sense of restlessness and anxiety. Mindfulness invites us to anchor ourselves in the present moment, to observe our thoughts without getting lost in them. By focusing on the here and now, we allow ourselves to step outside the mental noise and find a place of stillness within. In this space, we begin to see that our thoughts do not define us, that beneath them lies a steady, peaceful awareness that remains unchanged. Inner peace is closely tied to the ability to let go of control. Many of us carry the burden of trying to control every aspect of our lives, believing that only then can we be safe and happy. But this need for control is often an illusion, a source of constant worry and stress. True peace comes when we surrender our need to control, trusting that life has its own rhythm and wisdom. This does not mean we stop caring or trying. It simply means we let go of the things beyond our influence, allowing life to unfold naturally. When we release this burden, we experience a profound sense of relief, an openness to whatever comes, and a deep trust in the process of life. Forgiveness is another essential component of inner peace. Holding on to past hurts or grudges can be like carrying a heavy weight that drags us down, robbing us of our ability to feel peaceful. By forgiving others and ourselves, we free ourselves from the chains of resentment and anger. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful actions. It is about releasing ourselves from the emotional burden they create. When we let go of these grievances, we make space for peace, compassion, and understanding. Forgiveness allows us to move forward without carrying the weight of the past, giving us the freedom to live fully in the present. Gratitude also plays a vital role in the cultivation of inner peace. When we focus on what we lack or on what has gone wrong, we invite dissatisfaction and restlessness. But when we choose to focus on the blessings in our lives, however small they may seem, we begin to shift our perspective. Gratitude is a way of aligning ourselves with the abundance that already exists, of seeing the beauty in what we often overlook. This simple shift in focus can transform our experience, filling us with a sense of contentment and peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. Inner peace also grows from compassion both for ourselves and for others. Life is filled with challenges, and we all experience moments of struggle and pain. When we cultivate compassion, we develop the ability to see ourselves and others with kindness and understanding. We stop judging ourselves harshly for our mistakes or shortcomings, and instead approach our experiences with gentleness. This compassion extends outward, allowing us to be more understanding and accepting of others as well. When we view life through a compassionate lens, we create a sense of unity and connection that transcends individual differences, fostering a peace that comes from recognizing our shared humanity. Inner peace is an alignment with our true selves. It is the recognition that we are not defined by our circumstances, by our successes or failures, or by the opinions of others. This peace comes from within, from a connection to the part of us that is eternal and unchanging. It is a deep trust in our own worth and in the journey of life itself. When we cultivate this inner peace, we become like a calm lake that reflects the beauty around it without being disturbed by passing winds. Inner peace is not a destination to be reached, it is a practice, a way of being that we can choose every day. It is the result of small acts of kindness, moments of self-reflection, and a commitment to living in alignment with our highest values. This peace is a gift that grows with attention and care, a sanctuary within that offers strength, clarity, and joy in every moment. As we nurture this inner peace, we find that it begins to radiate outward, touching everything we do and everyone we encounter. Through this gift, we discover a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and profound connection. In embracing the gift of inner peace, we unlock a sanctuary within ourselves, a place untouched by the chaos of the external world. Inner peace is cultivated through acceptance, mindfulness, gratitude, forgiveness, and compassion. It is not defined by our circumstances, but is a state of being that grows stronger as we nurture it with kindness, patience, and trust. When we commit to this practice, we not only transform our own experience, but also positively impact those around us, radiating calm and understanding into the world. Thank you for taking this journey within, for choosing to cultivate the strength and serenity that come from inner peace. May this gift be a guiding light, bringing comfort, resilience, and joy in every step you take. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a calm, boundless sea. No storm, no ripple disturbs its surface. It rests quietly, reflecting the heavens. Now, picture your mind as this sea. When you allow worries, fears, or outside opinions to agitate your thoughts, it is as though waves are splashing against the shores of your being, obscuring that perfect, peaceful stillness that exists within. This stillness is where your true power resides, a power that operates most effectively when it is undisturbed. The secret to fast manifestation lies in your ability to cultivate an unbreakable sense of inner peace, to be so grounded in your purpose that no one, no event, and no circumstance can disrupt your inner calm. Often we believe that external forces hold sway over us, that the opinion of a loved one, the judgment of society, or the discouragement of a friend has the ability to shape the success or failure of our desires. But true mastery is realized when we recognize that we alone are the guardians of our peace. Only we can choose to either open the doors of our mind to worry or close them firmly against its arrival. Worry, when examined closely, is nothing more than a misplaced belief that others' doubts or the world's limitations are more real than our own conviction. When you allow yourself to be troubled by the doubts of others, you give life to their limitations, making them your own. Each time you let your mind drift into fear or self-doubt, it's as though you're stirring those calm waters within, preventing them from reflecting the vision you hold for yourself. This reflection must be clear and steady, for it is this untroubled, undivided state of mind that transforms thought into reality. Think of peace not as a passive state, but as an active, powerful force that keeps your mind aligned with the reality you wish to create. Peace is the soil in which your desire can flourish, for a mind unbothered by outside disturbances is free to focus solely on the feeling of fulfillment. This is the essence of manifestation, knowing with complete confidence that your desire is already yours, and letting nothing shake this conviction. It is the strength of your calmness, the consistency of your faith, that brings about swift manifestation. To embody this, you must learn to separate your reality from the reality of others. Understand that others will view the world from their own beliefs, their own limitations, but these need not define you. Just as a mountain remains unmoved by the weather that surrounds it, you too must remain steadfast in your inner vision. There will always be those who cast doubt or express disbelief, but they do not reside in your reality unless you invite them in. When you allow their doubts to enter your mind, you disrupt the peace that is essential for manifestation. Consider a time when you felt completely at peace, undisturbed by any worry or fear. How powerful did you feel in that moment? That sense of empowerment comes from the knowledge that no external influence has any power over your inner state unless you permit it. In this serene, undisturbed condition, you can dwell fully in the feeling of having already attained your desire. This feeling is the fertile ground of manifestation. It is where you plant the seed of your dream. Only in this state of calm can the seed grow unimpeded by doubt or distraction. It is a choice you make daily, even moment by moment. When you feel the pull of worry or the pangs of doubt, remind yourself that these are simply shadows on the surface. They are fleeting, temporary, and without substance unless you give them power. Your peace is the substance of your reality. It is the pure, undiluted essence of your desire already fulfilled. Maintain this peace and watch how swiftly life begins to conform to the calm certainty that you project from within. Now, let this truth take root in you. You need no one else's validation, no permission, no agreement from the world outside. You are the creator, and the conditions of your creation reside solely within you. When you understand this, you unlock the fastest path to your goal. For when your inner world is steady, the outer world has no choice but to mirror it. Every desire you hold in this space of peace will find its way to you, simply because you have aligned yourself with the flow of life, unobstructed by any resistance. The next time a worry arises, see it for what it truly is, an invitation to give up your peace. Choose instead to remain rooted in calmness, anchored in your unshakable belief that all you seek is already yours. Let no one, let no fear, let no temporary setback convince you otherwise. Stand firm in this peace, knowing that it is the birthplace of all things. As you move forward, make it your daily practice to cultivate this calm awareness, refusing to allow any person, thought, or circumstance to disturb it. This is mastery. This is where manifestation occurs with ease and speed. When we desire to manifest something in our lives, we often look to the external world for signs of progress or validation. We may feel compelled to share our goals with others or seek their approval, hoping that they'll see our vision and encourage us. Yet, when we depend on external influences for validation, we weaken our own power. We risk diluting our intentions, allowing the doubts and opinions of others to seep into our minds. This is why disengaging from outer influence is essential to manifesting swiftly and effectively. To disengage from outer influence means to separate yourself from the need for approval, reassurance, or validation from anyone outside yourself. It is understanding that no one else's perspective, opinion, or belief has any bearing on your ability to manifest your desires. Often people view the world through the lens of their own limitations, projecting their fears and doubts onto others. If you allow their beliefs to take root in your mind, you invite their limitations to become your own. By maintaining a clear boundary between your inner world and the external world, you preserve the purity of your vision. Consider how fragile a seedling is when it first begins to grow. It needs careful nurturing, sunlight, and protection from harsh elements. Your desires are much the same. When a desire is first born in your mind, it is delicate, sensitive to any influence that could pull it off course. Sharing this budding vision with others often exposes it to scrutiny, skepticism, and unsolicited advice that can stifle its growth. Disengaging from these influences ensures that your desire remains strong, unpolluted by the doubts or disbelief of others. This disengagement does not mean shutting yourself off from the world. Rather, it is an internal decision to trust your own conviction above all else. When you choose to disengage, you are simply choosing to cultivate a mental environment where only empowering, positive beliefs take root. You are deciding that no matter what anyone else may think or say, your focus will remain fixed on the certainty of your desire fulfilled. A key part of disengagement is to release the habit of seeking signs in the external world. When we constantly look for evidence that our desire is materializing, we subtly imply doubt, as if we need the world to confirm our belief. This gives unnecessary power to external circumstances, placing the responsibility for our happiness outside of ourselves. The world mirrors your internal state, not the other way around. By focusing on your inner conviction and refusing to be swayed by appearances, you align yourself more closely with the state of fulfillment. Imagine walking through a dense forest, where each step forward is guided only by your intuition. If you were to stop and ask every passerby for directions or confirmation, you would lose sight of your path, disoriented by countless perspectives. Instead, you move steadily, trusting the inner compass that guides you. This same principle applies to manifesting your desires. When you disengage from outer influence, you free yourself to trust the inner guidance that knows precisely how to bring your dreams to life. This also means not allowing setbacks or obstacles to shake your confidence. Often challenges arise not as a sign of failure, but as opportunities to deepen your faith and fortify your inner world. By disengaging from the temptation to interpret these challenges as negative, you cultivate resilience. Each obstacle becomes a stepping stone, an invitation to strengthen your focus on the reality you wish to create. In doing so, you become unshakable, unaffected by the temporary nature of the external world. Another aspect of disengagement involves releasing the need for others to understand or agree with your vision. It is common to seek validation from those around us, especially those we hold dear. However, true mastery in manifestation comes when you can hold a vision solely within yourself, needing no external support to sustain it. It is recognizing that your connection to your desire is sacred and personal, something no one else can truly grasp as you do. When you cease to require their understanding, you free yourself to pursue your vision with pure, undivided focus. This self-contained focus is immensely powerful. When you no longer need the world to reflect your belief back to you, you harness a level of conviction that is unbreakable. In this space of self-assurance, your desire becomes inevitable because you have chosen to embody the feeling of its fulfillment, regardless of what anyone else may say or think. This is the core of manifestation, holding on to the certainty of your vision and letting it be unaffected by the changing tides of the world around you. The practice of disengaging from outer influence also fosters self-trust. When you place your belief in the power within you rather than in external sources, you cultivate a profound confidence in your ability to shape your reality. Each time you choose to look within for assurance, each time you resist the urge to seek validation, you reinforce your faith in yourself. This self-trust is invaluable, as it empowers you to manifest without hesitation, with a certainty that is unyielding. Disengaging from outer influence is ultimately an act of self-respect. It is a declaration that your dreams are worthy of protection, that your desires are valuable enough to be safeguarded from the opinions and beliefs of others. In doing so, you create a sanctuary within, a space where your vision can grow and flourish, untainted by the fears or limitations of those around you. And as you continue to nurture this space of inner freedom, you'll find that your desires manifest faster and with greater ease, for they are born from a place of undisturbed power. When we embark on the journey of manifesting our desires, the key to realizing them is maintaining an unwavering focus on the reality we want to create. To focus on your desired reality alone is not a passive state, it is a deliberate and active practice that requires mental discipline and dedication. This focus means choosing, moment by moment, to dwell in the feeling and belief that your desire is already fulfilled. By doing so, you allow your mind to remain immersed in the vibration of having, rather than wanting, ensuring that the energy you emit aligns perfectly with what you intend to receive. The power of focusing on your desired reality alone lies in the way it shapes your subconscious mind. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's imagined and what's real. When you repeatedly impress upon it the feeling of your desire already being fulfilled, it takes this impression as truth. Consequently, it begins to work in unseen ways, directing your thoughts, actions, and even circumstances to align with the reality you've envisioned. This is why it is essential to keep your focus unwavering when you consistently imagine yourself as already living your desired outcome. Your subconscious mind reprograms itself to bring that reality into existence. This kind of focus demands that you detach from the appearances and distractions of the current physical world. The external world often mirrors our past beliefs, presenting limitations and obstacles that may tempt us to doubt our vision. It is easy to get caught up in what seems real right now, but true manifestation requires that you give more importance to the vision within than to what you see around you. By focusing solely on your desired reality, you give power to the inner vision, allowing it to become more real to you than the world of current appearances. A crucial aspect of this focus is the emotional state you cultivate. The feeling of your desire being fulfilled should be as real to you as any emotion you've ever experienced. This emotion is the language of the subconscious, and by feeling it as vividly as possible, you speak directly to the creative force within you. If your desire is to live in abundance, for example, practice feeling abundant in every moment. Visualize the joy, the security, and the freedom that come with financial prosperity. Make these feelings so familiar that they become a natural part of your daily experience, regardless of your current circumstances. Focusing on your desired reality also involves a conscious refusal to entertain thoughts of lack or doubt. Doubt is a signal to the subconscious that you don't truly believe in the fulfillment of your desire, and it introduces a vibration that is contrary to manifestation. When you notice thoughts of fear or disbelief, gently redirect your mind back to the feeling of fulfillment. Reaffirm your belief in your vision and practice mental discipline, refusing to let stray thoughts dilute the power of your focus. This kind of mental control is not about suppressing feelings, but rather about choosing what you dwell upon, knowing that your inner focus is what creates your reality. One of the most effective ways to maintain this focus is through visualization. Visualization is the practice of mentally rehearsing the fulfillment of your desire with as much sensory detail as possible. By doing this, you immerse yourself in the experience of your desired reality, engaging not only your mind but also your emotions and senses. Picture yourself living the life you desire, see the details, hear the sounds, feel the textures. When you make this experience vivid, your mind can't help but treat it as real. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes, until the vision of your desire feels like an undeniable reality. An additional way to strengthen this focus is by eliminating any form of contradictory input. This may mean limiting your exposure to negative news, unhelpful conversations, or anything that triggers feelings of doubt or fear. Your desired reality deserves a protected space, free from distractions or negativity that might sway you from your purpose. When you surround yourself with uplifting influences and maintain a mental environment that reflects your goal, you build a foundation that supports the manifestation of your vision. As you persist in focusing on your desired reality, remember that manifestation is a process. Trust that your continued focus is drawing your desire toward you, even if you can't see immediate results. Just as a seed takes time to sprout and grow, your desire is taking shape in ways you may not perceive yet. Be patient, but remain resolute in your focus. Each day, each moment spent dwelling in the feeling of fulfillment brings you closer to your goal, reinforcing your inner conviction and strengthening the bond between your mind and the reality you wish to experience. This practice ultimately cultivates faith, a faith rooted not in external proof but in inner certainty. By focusing on your desired reality alone, you develop a profound trust in the unseen processes at work. This trust allows you to let go of impatience, fear, or the need for validation. You begin to realize that your focus, your unwavering belief, is all that's needed. Everything else will follow naturally. When you make this practice a part of your daily life, it reshapes not only your thoughts but also your entire state of being. You become someone who embodies the reality you wish to create, radiating the energy of fulfillment and success. And in this state, manifestation is not a matter of if, but when your focus has now become the catalyst that draws your vision into form, and you find yourself living the reality you once only imagined. In the journey of manifesting desires, few things are as vital as the ability to forgive and release doubt. Doubt is a form of inner resistance, a barrier between you and the reality you wish to create. When you hold doubt within, it signals to the subconscious mind that you are uncertain about your desires, effectively blocking the manifestation process. Likewise, the act of forgiveness is essential because it clears away emotional burdens that anchor you to the past, freeing your mind and energy to focus on the present moment where creation truly happens. Forgiving and releasing doubt are intertwined practices, both crucial to cultivating the inner clarity and belief needed to manifest your desires. To forgive means to let go of all grievances, resentments, and judgments that weigh on your mind. These negative emotions, whether directed at yourself or others, create inner discord, clouding your focus and energy. When you hold on to grudges or regrets, you are allowing the past to influence your present, keeping you tethered to memories that no longer serve you. In essence, holding on to grievances traps you in a cycle of repetitive thought, preventing you from moving forward with a fresh, open mind. By forgiving, you release this burden, allowing your mental and emotional energy to flow freely. This liberation is essential because manifestation requires a mind unencumbered by distractions, one that is focused solely on the fulfillment of your vision. Forgiveness is also an act of self-compassion. Many people are harder on themselves than they are on others, harboring guilt, shame, or regret for perceived failures. These emotions generate doubt, as they reinforce the belief that you are somehow undeserving or incapable of achieving your desires. By forgiving yourself, you acknowledge that mistakes are a natural part of life, and you accept that these experiences do not define you or limit your potential. This acceptance is powerful. It releases you from self-imposed limitations, allowing you to see yourself as worthy and capable of manifesting your dreams. In tandem with forgiveness, releasing doubt is an essential practice for aligning with your desired reality. Doubt arises from a lack of faith, whether in yourself, in the process, or in the belief that you are worthy of what you desire. When you entertain doubt, you are inadvertently choosing to focus on what you don't want rather than what you do. This focus on the negative is a subtle but potent way of diverting your energy, causing your subconscious to interpret your desire as unclear. If you want your manifestation to come to fruition, you must replace doubt with unwavering certainty, trusting that the path you are on will lead you to your desired outcome. One effective way to release doubt is to reaffirm your belief in your own power. Remember that your thoughts and emotions are creative forces. Each time you feel doubt creeping in, remind yourself that you have the power to shape your reality by aligning your thoughts with your desires. Embrace the idea that there is no outside force preventing you from achieving your goals, only the barriers you place in your own mind. By consistently choosing to believe in yourself, you dissolve the energy of doubt, creating a space for faith and confidence to grow. Visualization is another powerful tool in releasing doubt. When you visualize, immerse yourself completely in the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Allow yourself to experience the joy, peace, and satisfaction of already having what you want. This practice strengthens your belief in the reality of your desire, making it easier to dispel any doubts that may arise. When your vision becomes vivid enough, it naturally overshadows any lingering uncertainty, filling your mind with the certainty of fulfillment. Affirmations can also serve as reminders of your faith in your own power. Choose words that resonate with you and reinforce your sense of capability. Statements like, "I am worthy of my desires, I trust in the process of creation," or "I release all doubt," can be powerful tools to retrain your mind, gradually shifting your internal dialogue from one of doubt to one of confidence and belief. Over time, these affirmations sink into your subconscious, helping to dissolve the habit of doubt and replace it with an inner knowing that your desires are within reach. Practice patience. Doubt often emerges from the fear of not seeing immediate results. When we place a timeline on our desires, we create pressure, which in turn fuels doubt. Letting go of rigid expectations around timing allows you to stay present and trust the process. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if the outer world hasn't yet reflected the changes you desire. Remember that every time you let go of impatience, you reinforce your faith in your vision. In this process, forgiveness and the release of doubt go hand in hand. Forgiveness frees you from the emotional clutter of the past, while releasing doubt clears your path forward. Together, they enable you to approach your desires with a clean slate, an open heart, and a focused mind. By consistently practicing forgiveness and reaffirming your belief in yourself, you create an environment in which your desires can flourish unhindered. You are not hindered by past disappointments, nor do you allow fleeting uncertainties to sway you. Instead, you stand firmly in your vision, secure in the knowledge that what you seek is already on its way. In embracing these practices, you cultivate an inner state of peace, clarity, and conviction that becomes the foundation of your manifestation journey. Forgiveness and the release of doubt transform you from within, allowing you to become a vessel of unwavering faith and powerful focus. In this state, your desires move toward you effortlessly, drawn by the strength of your inner alignment. As you forgive, release, and believe, you step into the fullness of your creative power, knowing that your dreams are not only possible but inevitable. Success is not simply the achievement of a specific goal, it is a mindset, a state of being, and a way of perceiving the world around you. Cultivating a daily awareness of success means training your mind to recognize, appreciate, and embody success in every aspect of your life, not just in the grand achievements, but in the small, consistent steps and daily wins that accumulate over time. This practice of seeing success everywhere is powerful because it reshapes your subconscious mind, aligning it with the reality you wish to experience. The more you affirm success in your daily life, the more natural it becomes to see yourself as successful, attracting more of it into your life. Cultivating daily awareness of success begins with reframing what you consider a success. Often we tend to think of success as something distant, tied to specific achievements like a promotion, a large financial gain, or a major personal milestone. However, these significant events are not the only markers of success. Success is present in small, consistent actions that move you closer to your goals, in the discipline of showing up every day, and in the determination to keep going even when things aren't perfect. By broadening your definition of success to include these daily acts, you train your mind to see progress, no matter how incremental, as success. This, in turn, keeps your motivation high and strengthens your belief in your ability to achieve larger goals. One effective way to build this awareness is through a daily reflection practice. At the end of each day, take a few moments to look back and acknowledge the wins, no matter how small they might seem. Perhaps you completed a task you had been putting off, managed your time well, or stayed consistent with a healthy habit. These accomplishments, though minor in isolation, are part of the larger picture of success, and recognizing them fuels your sense of capability and confidence. By consistently reinforcing the idea that success is something you experience every day, you gradually reshape your self-perception, seeing yourself as someone who is already successful, rather than someone who is merely pursuing it. Another powerful approach is to start each day with an affirmation of success. When you begin your day with the mindset that you are capable, accomplished, and moving steadily towards your goals, you set a powerful tone that influences your actions and responses throughout the day. Repeat phrases like "I am successful," "I am achieving my goals every day," or "success is drawn to me in every moment." These affirmations may feel like simple words at first, but over time they become embedded in your subconscious, subtly directing your behavior and decisions in ways that align with success. This daily ritual builds a strong foundation, reminding you that success is not a distant outcome, but a quality you embody right now. Visualization is another powerful tool for cultivating daily awareness of success. Take a few minutes each morning or evening to visualize yourself as the successful person you aspire to be. Picture yourself already living the life you desire, accomplishing your goals, and enjoying the fulfillment that comes with it. Engage all your senses in this visualization, immersing yourself in the feeling of success. This mental rehearsal trains your subconscious to recognize success as a familiar state, bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. The more you see yourself as already successful, the more naturally you will act in alignment with that vision. Throughout your day, practice gratitude for the aspects of your life that are already going well. Gratitude is a potent force for shifting your awareness to the positive, which in turn attracts more of what you desire. When you express genuine appreciation for the successes, big and small, that already exist in your life, you reinforce the belief that you are on the right path. This gratitude isn't limited to achievements. It includes acknowledging qualities within yourself, like resilience, focus, and discipline. The more grateful you are for these attributes, the more you strengthen them, building a mindset that attracts further success effortlessly. Equally important to cultivating daily awareness of success is the habit of aligning your thoughts and actions with your goals. When faced with decisions, ask yourself whether your choices are in harmony with the successful person you are becoming. This practice of aligning with your vision of success keeps you on track, ensuring that you aren't distracted by short-term impulses or doubts. Each time you choose to act in ways that support your goals, you reinforce your identity as someone who is already successful, building momentum that accelerates your progress. It's also beneficial to surround yourself with symbols of success, reminders of your achievements, and inspiration that reinforces your vision. This could be in the form of a vision board, affirmations posted where you can see them, or even a simple list of past accomplishments. These visual cues serve as daily reminders of the progress you've made and the person you are becoming. Each time you see them, you reaffirm your commitment to your journey, reminding yourself that success is not just a destination, but a continuous state that you cultivate with every thought, action, and intention. Practice self-compassion when setbacks arise. Success is not a linear journey. It involves challenges, adjustments, and sometimes failures. Rather than allowing these setbacks to shake your belief in your success, see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your resilience and brings you closer to your goals. By treating setbacks as stepping stones, you transform potential obstacles into experiences that further affirm your success, reinforcing your commitment and confidence in your ability to achieve what you desire. Cultivating a daily awareness of success creates a powerful mindset shift that aligns you with the life you want. When you celebrate your progress, affirm your capabilities, and remain focused on your vision, you attract more opportunities for growth and achievement. Success becomes not a future goal, but an intrinsic quality of who you are, woven into every aspect of your life. Through this awareness, you harness the power of your mind to create a life of abundance, fulfillment, and continuous achievement. Trusting in the power within you is one of the most transformative mindsets you can cultivate. It is an unwavering belief that you hold within yourself the resources, wisdom, and creative energy necessary to achieve any goal, overcome any obstacle, and shape your reality as you desire. This inner power is not something external or granted by others. It is innate, a profound reservoir of potential that lies at the core of your being. When you learn to trust this power, you unlock the ability to approach life's challenges with confidence, manifest your desires with clarity, and experience life with a deeper sense of purpose. This trust in your inner power begins with the understanding that the outer world reflects your inner state. The reality you experience is shaped by your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. If you believe you are limited, unworthy, or incapable, this belief will inevitably manifest in your outer world as obstacles, setbacks, and missed opportunities. On the other hand, when you nurture the belief that you are capable, deserving, and resourceful, you project confidence and clarity into your surroundings. People respond to your energy, opportunities align with your path, and circumstances arise to support your journey. Trusting in your power means consciously choosing to align your inner beliefs with the reality you wish to create. One of the keys to building this trust is recognizing that your inner power is your connection to a universal source of wisdom and creativity. This power is not isolated or limited, but is a direct link to the boundless energy of life itself. Every great achievement, invention, an act of courage has stemmed from individuals tapping into this inner source and believing in their potential to bring something extraordinary into the world. When you trust in your power, you acknowledge that you are part of this universal energy, capable of manifesting your desires and contributing meaningfully to the world. This realization allows you to act from a place of calm assurance, knowing that you are never truly alone or unsupported. In your inner power also requires that you release self-doubt and replace it with self-affirmation. Doubt is a barrier that blocks the flow of your creative potential, making you question your abilities and second-guess your decisions. When you let doubt consume you, you weaken your connection to your inner strength and allow fear to take control. But by actively choosing to affirm your capabilities, you reinforce your inner power. Every time you tell yourself, "I can handle this," or "I am capable," you strengthen your belief in yourself and increase your resilience. Over time, this practice becomes a habit, making trust in yourself your natural state. Visualization is a powerful technique to deepen your trust in your inner power. By visualizing yourself successfully achieving your goals, you create a mental blueprint of success. Picture yourself as confident, resourceful, and capable, embodying the qualities that align with your desired outcome. Engage all your senses in this vision, making it as real and vivid as possible. The more you immerse yourself in this image of success, the more your mind accepts it as truth. This practice builds a foundation of trust in your abilities, making it easier to act with confidence and take steps toward your dreams. Another important aspect of trusting your power is learning to listen to your intuition. Intuition is the quiet, guiding voice within that provides insights and nudges you in the right direction. Unlike logical reasoning, intuition is often subtle, but it speaks with wisdom drawn from a deeper place within you. When you learn to listen to and trust this inner guidance, you strengthen your connection to your inner power. Instead of seeking validation or approval from others, you begin to rely on your own inner knowing. Trusting your intuition may require you to step outside of your comfort zone or take risks, but each time you follow it, you reinforce your belief in your own wisdom. Trusting in your power also means being patient with yourself and the process. Manifesting your desires and goals doesn't always happen overnight, and the path may be winding and unpredictable. However, by remaining patient, you acknowledge that the journey is as important as the destination. Patience allows you to stay calm and centered, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. This trust in timing and the process keeps you from becoming discouraged by setbacks or delays, allowing you to maintain faith in your abilities and commitment to your vision. Nurturing gratitude for your inner power strengthens your trust in it. Every day, take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate the strengths, talents, and resilience that you already possess. Reflect on past experiences where you have overcome challenges, learned valuable lessons, or achieved goals through your own efforts. This reflection serves as a reminder of the power that has always been within you and reassures you of your ability to face future challenges. Gratitude not only raises your energy but also reinforces your belief in yourself, reminding you that you have everything you need to succeed. The power within you transforms how you approach life. It allows you to move forward with confidence, even in the face of uncertainty, because you know that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. This trust enables you to take bold actions, follow your passions, and pursue your dreams, free from the constraints of doubt and fear. As you nurture this inner faith, you align with your highest potential, embodying the strength, wisdom, and creativity that is your birthright. When you fully trust in your power, you experience life from a place of peace and assurance. You no longer look to external circumstances to determine your worth or potential. Instead, you look within, knowing that all the resources you need are already there. This trust in your inner power becomes the foundation upon which you build your reality, leading you to a life of fulfillment, success, and boundless possibility. In conclusion, embracing and trusting the power within you is the key to creating a life of purpose, resilience, and fulfillment. This inner power is always present, waiting for you to acknowledge it, nurture it, and align your actions with it. By recognizing that your beliefs shape your reality, choosing self-affirmation over doubt, listening to your intuition, and being patient with your journey, you cultivate a profound sense of self-trust that empowers every part of your life. With this trust, you can face any challenge, pursue your dreams fearlessly, and manifest the reality you desire. Thank you for taking this journey toward understanding and strengthening your inner power. Embrace it fully, for it is the key to unlocking your truest potential.